Hi, my name is Nina Nye, and I'm a teaching artist with AFA. I've been doing this for a few years, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys today. When I was 9 years old, I went to my violin teacher and I asked her how many days I needed to practice a week. And she told me that I only had to practice on the days that I ate. And I stood there and I looked at her and thought, that's weird because I eat every day. So that meant that I had to practice every day. As a 9-year-old, I found that really overwhelming at first because what if I wanted to go outside and play, or I needed to go to soccer practice? What do I do then? Well, you start. You just practice and you get your case out. So I'm going to talk today about 3 different ways to help you stay motivated to practice. And the first thing is get started. The second, think positive. And the third is stay connected. These 3 things will help you over the next few months stay connected to yourself and to your instrument and to a community that's here to want to help you practice and get better. So the first thing is getting started. I'm not kidding. The best thing you can do is open your case. On the days that I don't want to practice, and I'm well over 9 years old now, and sometimes I still don't want to practice, but the first thing I do is open my case. Now, let's say you're a singer and you're thinking, look, lady, I don't have a case. Well, gather up those books and go to the room where you normally practice. If you're a pianist, open the lid and pull the bench out. You'll feel more motivated to practice like that. So, in addition to opening your case or gathering your books, the next thing you need to do is turn your phone on Do Not Disturb. We have so many distractions on our phones and on our computers. So I highly encourage you to turn the sound off and just focus. Now, how long do you practice? People ask me that all the time. Well, start small. Start really small. Sometimes I set a 15-minute timer and all I do is wait. I turn it on, I get my instrument out, I start playing, and before I know it, the 15 minutes is over. So I encourage you to time yourself and to let that be something that you can look forward to, but that also you know that there's an end to it. Because sometimes if we know there's going to be something at the end, like that beep on your phone to tell you it's over, you get lost in what you're doing, and then you're told to stop, but then you can set another timer and keep going. Or maybe that's enough for you. Maybe that 15 minutes is all you needed that day. And that's okay too. Start small. The other thing I recommend is setting a routine. So we all have routines, right? We get up out of bed, we walk down the hall, we go have breakfast. That's a routine, right? So add practice into your daily routine. If you have 15 minutes to play Minecraft and you have 15 minutes to text with your friends, you have 15 minutes to practice your instrument. And you can build that up 15 minutes at a time until you're practicing as long as you want. I used to practice for 4 to 6 hours a day when I was in college. And that was really rewarding, but it took me a long time to get there. And so I encourage you to start small and build that time up as you go. Another thing you can do is have a practice journal or a practice chart. So you can log what you're doing. And this is really beneficial because when we write down what we want to do and then we write down what we've done, we have a sense of accomplishment. So let's say you're not big on journaling and you don't want to write to yourself every day that, dear diary, today I played viola for 15 minutes. Well, get a calendar with your favorite stickers and give yourself reward stickers for every day that you practice. You'll see your progress visually and also get to pick out really cool stickers. So this brings us to our next point, which is be positive. Many times when we get started practicing, we hear a lot of negative voices in our heads and we only see the things we're doing wrong. But I encourage you to put that voice away and to get curious, be creative, and stay positive. These are things that professional musicians have had to learn how to do to motivate themselves. And in times like these, we are so susceptible to feeling isolated and to being sad about what we're doing. but you have the power to think positively about yourself and to think positively for other people. And your practice, you can do that. So here's an example. Let's say you need to practice a scale, and you need to practice a C major scale, but you keep accidentally putting an F sharp in there. Instead of telling yourself, oh, I just can't do this, or oh, that was so bad, or why do I keep doing this, or saying something like that, get curious about why you're doing it. Why are you adding the F sharp? Is your finger in the wrong spot? Maybe you have the wrong hand shape. Get curious. This is a time where we can look at ourselves and be observant of our own actions and be kind of like scientists. And so we're on a quest to find what we're not doing correctly and find cool ways to fix them. And a lot of times it's simple. And it's just, for string players, move your finger down, and you're going to find that F natural. So that's a small example, but it really works for staying positive and thinking, why am I doing this, instead of being mean to yourself? And then speak positively to yourself. Whenever you start not doing that or thinking negative thoughts, say, self, pause. How could I redo this? How could I rework the way I'm thinking about myself into something more positive? So you have to start small, just like practicing 15 minutes a day. Tell yourself you're doing a good job. You can do this. And think about the ways of how far you've come instead of how far you need to go. So if you start to get discouraged, take a break, put it away, come back to it, and start with, I can do this. Now, you may be familiar with the story of the rabbit and the turtle, or more commonly known as the tortoise and the hare. I don't know why I said rabbit and turtle, but same thing. So they're in a race together, right? And so the rabbit just goes really fast and runs all the way, and the turtle is slow and steady. And the turtle's the one that wins the race, right? We want to be that turtle, the turtle that is determined and that works slowly and positively towards our goal and never gives up. And so that's the other thing that I encourage you to do, is never give up in your practice. Never give up on being kind to yourself. Speak to yourself in your practice the way that you would want somebody to speak to you, and how you would encourage a friend to practice, or if you heard somebody else play. That's how we want to speak to ourselves when we're practicing. Now, the third thing is stay connected. And right now, we're connected virtually, right? We don't get to be in the same room with our friends. We don't get to go to our orchestra class like we used to. We may not even get to see our teacher in the same room anymore. And that can be hard. You may be lonely, and you may be looking for other people to play with, but you don't know where to start. So start small. Reach out to your friend. So let's say you went to AFA camp last summer and you met somebody in the orchestra or in the choir who you really liked, and you have their email address or you have their phone number. We all have computers in our pockets, right? Text them. Say, are you practicing? What are you practicing? Do you want to practice together? I encourage you to start a virtual practice room where you contact somebody else. You set up we all have Zoom now. You can do Zoom, you can do FaceTime, you can do Google Meet. I don't know what other things young people are using, but I bet there's something else out there that you guys can connect with one another. Turn your microphones off and just have a virtual practice room where you hold each other accountable and you have other people to collaborate with, even if it's not in the same room. You can work collectively with others. So I encourage you to reach out and stay connected. So the three things that we've talked about today to boost your practice and to stay motivated are: 1, get started; 2, think positive; and 3, stay connected. I hope this helps you guys with your practicing, and I look forward to seeing you sometime soon.